All right, folks, going to be live for next 30 minutes to an hour answering start sit questions that you have. Did this last week. We'll be doing this most Sundays pretty early in the morning for an hour or so. Won't be able to do this next week. I'll be at a wedding, but other than that, I'm here for you. Pretty good track record last week. A lot of people were asking me, do we play Debo? Of course, I said yes. I'm sure not all the advice was good, but let me know, folks. Usually I'd be drafting teams at this time too. But I don't think there are any teams to draft really on Underdog. There's some smaller stuff, I guess. Time Warp, Crack of Dawn, appropriately named. Make sure you get in the Discord. Link is below so you never miss a stream. I'm sure some folks are not even awake yet. I think what we'll do first is set my lineups in my high stakes leagues. Not going to set my lineups on the FFPC quite yet. Oh, no, I think I can. Waivers haven't gone through there, but so there's really only one lineup where I have questions, maybe two. These are on RT Sports. So this one, I am going to play Herbert over Fields. Think I'm going to do that most weeks. Gibbs, obviously. Aaron Jones, obviously. Marvin Harrison, Tet Ladd. Yeah, nothing doing here. The real question is Brock Bowers, but I was able to pick up Michael Mayer. And, current reports on Bowers is that he is supposed to play. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm going to wait for the Jay Glazer tweet here. It wouldn't be surprised for me to decoy him. Kind of tough, though. Just stinks to bench him. This is why best ball is better, right? Picked up Quentin Johnson in this league off waivers because I had Herbert. Why not? Monday Night Football, obviously not what you want when you have a questionable player. Team's a wagon, though. Let's see. Who we playing? So we already got Debo's points, which feels good. So this guy went punt running back and kind of found two. ETN and Javante. He's got to be feeling good. But he's playing like Noah Fant at tight end. So that alone should be like, okay, we're going to play Bowers. Worst case, we'll swap to Mayer here. He's got Jamar Chase and Big Mike and Lamar. But Herbert, simply awesome at football. I just think, Fields obviously huge ceiling, but he also has like big disaster in his range of outcomes. I mean, the Bills defense looks slow. You could get trailing Fields as well, but yeah, I don't know. I'm doing Herbert. Quite like Gibbs. Really bouncing around whether I want to play Gibbs or Jamar Chase in my one DK high stakes. Had Gibbs in. We swapped it to Chase. Always gut wrenching when you do that because it's like, oh, are you swapping bad? Okay, team 2. This is the one I did with Tolan. This was a Purdy team, so I think we're going to hold Purdy for now. We picked up Daniel Jones to go with Fields. So, yeah, just going to play Fields here. We're playing Warren over Pacheco. Pacheco against the Eagles, no. Kittle, unfortunately, too. At least we have Kincaid to get in there. And other than that, a bunch of guys not startable. So pretty much just rolling with the team. Fields, Warren, Irving, Brian Thomas, Mike, Kincaid, Diggs, Hunter, Fairbairn, Cardinals D. Starting feels good there, but a little thin on the bench here. Now this team. Okay, so I have DK Metcalf, and I'm currently playing Cook, Keon, and Kincaid, which I don't love. I think if I was purely using my brain, I would start Metcalf over Keon. But I kind of want to play Keon. Big Keon guy. Would be annoying to bench him and him have a great week. I'm playing Ian Hartitz too. Obviously, Nico and Puka are locks. Cook and Warren. I'm benching Tony Pollard for Warren because, yeah, okay, Pollard's going to play all the snaps, man, but like this doesn't do it in the box score. 18 for 60. If he's not getting targets, that's not good. So I need to see more from Cam Ward, I think, or just an easier matchup before I play Tony. Warren, obviously not playing all the snaps, but pretty good matchup. I'm playing Ian Hartitz here. I also am benching Fields for May, which could be big time wrong. So this is the one where it's like, ugh. Am I making the right decisions? I don't know. Keon could be shadowed by Sauce, or Sauce could just shade a field here. Jets run a lot of man D as well. Free Duke Johnson is Ian Hartitz. He's got the Bowers decision here. This team, I have Jonnu and Loveland, so I could play them over Kincaid as well, particularly Jonnu. I have the whole Steelers team pretty much. I have Warren, I have Metcalf, I have Calvin Austin, I have Jonnu. Not sure I love that, but that's what's on my bench. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully we just win by a lot and Keon is enough. But I like the matchup for Metcalf, so it's kind of tough here. Definitely tough because I think Metcalf got shadowed by Sauce last week and still did fine. Metcalf revenge game against the Seahawks also seems like something Rodgers will want to do. So I don't think I'm making the right decisions here, but it is what it is. Almost certainly not. Okay, let's see. We'll take a look here. Coleman and Pickens. You know, again, you could side with the draft capital, go Pickens there. It's a good matchup. Man defense by the Giants. You know, Keon got all his production in the fourth quarter. So, but he generally looked good. So maybe, and Kincaid looked good too, despite only playing like 60% of the snaps. So I could think both of them might just get more involved early in the game. And the Ravens defense, I think, is supposed to be good. Keon over Igbuka. I mean, Igbuka is definitely a negative regression candidate. He didn't have a lot of targets. He scored 2 touchdowns, but I think you side with Igbuka there. You play A.J. Brown over Booty. I need one running back, one wide receiver, one flex from Kenneth Walker, Trey Henderson, Ricky Pearsall, Ted McMillan, and Igbuka. Okay, well, you're playing Ricky. Well, Ricky, Tet, and Igbuka, those are your wide receiver and flex, period. Okay, and then at running back, it's tough. I think I would go with Travion Henderson, but I don't feel great about it. Sauce is traveling with wide receiver ones now. Yeah, I just think that you need to be careful about purely extrapolating a 1-week sample and assuming that, because what's reasonable is that the Jets view the Bills as a team without a wide receiver one, and he might just stick to a side of a field, right? When you're facing DK Metcalf and the wide receiver 2 is Calvin Austin, okay, that's a clear shadow. When you're facing Keon and Josh Palmer, maybe you just stick to a side of the field, you know? So maybe he shadows Keon. Start 2 of these: Pearsall, Wilson, ETN, and Travis Hunter. Man, it's always these like 10-man leagues that's hard start sits. I think I would do Hunter and Pearsall, but I don't feel great about it, Mick. I think I'd do Mahomes, VZ. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I think I'd do Mahomes. How likely is Bowers to play? I mean, apparently very likely. If you have an awesome alternative, I think you put that guy in because he could play and just be limited, you know? But I'm going to show you my FFPC event with this decision in a second here. Waiver out of the week. I mean, Anthony, no one. There is no one. Need 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver, and 2 flex. Okay. I think I'd play Olave and Hunter. Oh, tight end premium. Okay, Olave, Hunter / Fannin. Like, choose your favorite of this group for the 2 starts. Oh, wait. You need, of this list, so you need to just sit one of this group. Okay. That makes that question easier because you're asking for 5 guys. Okay, well, the sit is clearly between one of the running backs to me in PPR. So go with your heart. Ken Walker, Dobbins, or Henderson hit the bench. I don't know if Jennings is playing or if he's going to be full, but I think it's kind of crazy to play Leggett. So Jennings if he plays. No, Shakir's not taking strays. He's just slot, man. Like, Sauce is not going to shadow in the slot. Igbuka, Hollywood, Henderson, Aaron Jones, non-PPR flex. Ugh. Non-PPR, man. First off, petition to change your league. I guess Hollywood. Full PPR start 2. Igbuka, Smith, DJ Moore. This is all close, man. I don't think there's a bad decision here. Right? Like, I'm not going to lie to you guys when it's close like this. I don't sit down and just make like this guy's wide receiver. Like, if I was ranking like wide receiver 1, wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3, like these guys would all be within a couple spots of each other. I thought Moore looked pretty good despite not drafting a lot of him. They could be trailing. AJ Brown, despite what he's saying, could be limited. And seems like the Chiefs are hard to run on, but easier to pass on. And Igbuka obviously scored 2 touchdowns, but faces a tough defense. Hawk, Strange, or Pitts. Think I'm Pitts. But again, there's no bad decisions here, I think. Hampton or ETN. I'm Hampton. I'm clearly Hampton there. ETN could smash, but yeah, I think it's a little cute. All right, if Juwan's full go, yeah, I think he's clear. But, you know, sometimes guys get full goes and then they're barely out there. Best rookie wide receiver to start this week, Hunter, Igbuka, or T-Mac? I think Hunter has the highest ceiling and lowest floor. I think T-Mac has the highest floor. And Ibuka is kind of a mix between the two. Henry or Fannin? I think I'd go Fannin, but both are good, Mulder. Dobbins or Keon PPR. Let's go Keon there. That game could be ugly. Here's I only did 2 main events. One's with Ron and... Hope this doesn't show my waivers. Anyways, the team. So I got Shaheed on the bench. Jaden Reed, rip. Burden, Bateman, Rashid Shaheed. So it's tight end premium, so I'm playing Kincaid. And then I have Bowers, which if Jay Glazer gives me an indication to not play Bowers, I'm going to swap Bowers for Shaheed. If he says Bowers is full go, I'm keeping Bowers in. I also think Shaheed over Kincaid is defensible, but we're gonna keep it rolling. This team scored like 150 points and barely lost. If Cook scored one more touchdown, which he was stopped at the inch line like twice, I would have went 2-0. Team feels pretty good though. Henderson or Harvey? I think I'm Henderson just because Sean Payton's annoying. And we got reports that he might play more. Oh, I definitely play Harvey over Pacheco. 12-team PPR. Have McBride looking to trade Kraft. Is RJ Harvey straight up for him enough? I think so, yeah, Nick. Right? You might be helping a competitor, and Kraft is awesome. But he had like a broken play, 80-yard reception. That helps. The injuries occurred as well. So Kraft's value went up. You might be able to get more, but I do think like RJ Harvey is going to be a valuable fantasy asset sooner than later. And if you need running backs, like that's pretty good. Good call on Debo over Tet on Thursday. You got it, man. Am I too online or do I start Pickens over Neighbors? You're too online, Simon. Okay, so what Simon is saying here basically is like he's hearing fantasy analysts say things like, well, the Giants run man defense and Pickens has a 3.0 target per route run against man in his career, blah, 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 blah. Zoom out, Simon. You drafted Neighbors in the first round. Ignore all this inside baseball analysis. You start your studs, period, right? I think I'd play Dak over Caleb, but Caleb is playable too. Sit one, Zay, Pickens, Ibuka. I'm not sitting Flowers. That's for sure. So it's between Pickens and Ibuka for me. This is the team with Jacob and Ron. We had Goddard, who got ruled out, so rolling with Pitts. Nico and Puka here as well. Pickens and Hunter. This is another team that lost by like 1 point because Cook didn't score another touchdown. I do think Fields has like disastrous ranges, but we're going with Fields over Trevor. I was kind of Trevor there. We bid $5 on Tyler Loop. Feels good. I guess we're going with NDD. We lost though last week. I'm stacked at wide receiver. Let's pull up my home league too, where I beat my friend Tolan somehow. I'm stacked at wide receiver. I have Chase, Tet, Brian Thomas Jr., London, and Debo. My God, man. What are you in, like a 5-man league? You should trade Someone offered Jacobs and Cooks for Chase. I'm assuming you mean Cook. Yeah, man, you need running backs, period. So I'd try not to trade Jamar Chase, but you just can't roll with, Eckler's out for the year. Like, that's a huge upgrade to your starting lineup to go with like Tet, Brian Thomas Jr., or just to go with like Brian Thomas Jr., London, and Debo, plus Jacobs and Cooks versus Chase and Jones and RJ. No, I wouldn't trade Brian Thomas Jr. because he had a bad week last week, so you're not going to get fair value there. My team here is a 14 team. Currently have Trevor in. Maybe I'll swap it for Fields. Probably not. Trevor, Achane, Mason, Brian Thomas Jr., Mike Evans, Pickens, Juwan Johnson, Travis Hunter. I had Kittle, but he got hurt. Cardinals and Bucker. We got Judkins on the bench here. Looks like I am projected to lose barely. Keon or JMO? They're both boom bust. But I think I'm Keon. I think you can get more for Jamar Chase, though. Like, wait till Jamar Chase drops 50 and you can get, like, Jahmyr Gibbs. I have Bowers and picked up Fannin. Can I drop Burden for Mayer? If your league is deep, I would not be dropping Burden. Just for, like, a 1 week flexibility. Reports on Bowers is that he's supposed to play. And I was skeptical of that, but people are reacting to this like that's true. Brock Bowers, knee, expected to play. Khair Elam, be serious. Looked terrific in practice today. I mean, Carroll doesn't typically lie, but again, this is like you got to watch Fox. Pretty much the only time I watch Fox, and see what Jay Glazer says about Bowers, because he'll have some inside info. So bizarre that's how we have to get like inside info. Yeah, this guy is just wrong. This guy hates all rookies. There's a lot of geniuses out there who wait for 1 week of the NFL to say every rookie is dead. Achane is dead. He didn't play in the game. Oh, no. I would start Loveland easily over Schultz and Otten. Like, things change quickly for rookies, folks. It's not linear, right? A linear line is like this. It's generally not like 50% of snaps, 60, 65. It can be like 40, 100, If you have good alternatives and you don't want to, and you want to wait to see it, that's totally fine. But if your choice is like Will Dissly or Colston Loveland, come on. Full PPR, tight end premium. You're not telling me how many play one wide receiver and 2 flex out of this group. Well, I think you play Fannin, tight end premium. And then you choose 2 between Egbuka, Hunter, and Keon. They're all close. I'm Charbs over Pacheco this week. Benson is not a playable person. Fannin over Loveland? Yes, I would do Fannin over Loveland. Right? Because, I mean, Fannin's coming off a game where he went 9 for 7 for 70 or so against a team that they're going to be passing a lot against. So that one is like not close to me. But, you know, you give Loveland a couple weeks, you're going to be like, oh, okay, he's a starter. I'm Zay in PPR. Yeah, I think Pacheco's another guy. You got to wait to see a good week and or until they play a bad team. Fannin or Andrews in standard? Man, I hate standard questions. I think I'd play Fannin still, but sure, Andrews could fall in the end zone. I'd play T. Higgins pretty easily over Egbuka. We got to zoom out a little bit, folks. We can't just sort by fantasy points week 1 and then make our decisions sometimes, especially with like known studs of the past, you know? Oh, let's check out some of my Eliminator teams because they added some cool sweats here. Juwan or Jalen Warren in tight end premium. I think in tight end premium, you go Juwan there. For a team that's going to run a lot of pace. So he added another cool thing. He's adding the projected to win. So of my 89, I guess I'm projected to win 40. Or no, that's just advancing. So you got to count, I guess. He has the ones that you're projected to win on top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. Some of these are projected to win by like half a point. 38, 39, 40. This one's projected to win by 0.12. 41, 0.06, 42. Okay, so I'm projected to win 42 by razor thin. Not that meaningful, but in roughly expectation. But pretty cool that they added that. All right, let's look at some of these ones that are super close. This one, oh no, that's 3 points. That's not close. Okay, this one's projected to win by 0.06 of a point. Jones, Geno, Ward versus Lamar and Kyler. Ginty, Achane, Henderson, Mason, Tootin versus Mark, Sanders, Sampson, Harvey, Hampton, Gibbs. Marvin, Rice, Jamo, Pearsall, Shakir, Egbuka, Trey Harris versus Royals, Leggett, Thielen, Ayuk, Egbuka, Diggs, Sutton. Otten, Mason Taylor, Theo versus Schultz, Pitts, Ingram. So basically the only reason it's projected to be close is because this guy's wide receivers are god-awful for the most part. Because otherwise his team kind of feels better than mine. But, hey, that's how the projections have it. Although when I click in, the projection's different. Let's get back to some start sits. I could see this game going off. I could also see like Chase Brown sitting on the game. And, you know, the Burrow starting slow to start the year could be a thing. Pick up Booty, drop Jaden Higgins. Unless you think you'll actually be playing Booty, no. Definitely think this is playable. Woj, Chick, Burrow doubles. In general, like these expensive doubles, I do think we want to be doing these less on weeks that there's not buys. When you have available every player from every team pretty much, other than the primetime games, it's a little bit harder to win with a double. At the same time, in today's NFL, if like most games suck and that's the only game that goes off, that's an easy path to winning. Penix or Knicks? I'm Knicks. Both are facing tough defenses. Pacheco or Tootin? Okay, you got to go Pacheco there. Tootin, I think is going to eventually be a league winner, but you got to wait to see it. Sampson or Dunze? So Judkins is active and he's going to play, but I doubt he plays much at all. So Sampson has like a higher floor, but I think I'd play Odunze still. Half point PPR. Start one, bench the other two. Pearsall, Smith, or Waddle? I'd play Pearsall. Do you know if Jalen Carter is going to spit on Mahomes? Pacheco's interesting if so. Yeah, let me call the Eagles real quick. Wando Robinson or Dylan Sampson? That is not tough to me because I think Wandale's banged up. So the Cowboys did run a bunch of zone, which is kind of good for Wandale. But I think we play Sampson because Wandale a little banged up. I think I'm Olave over Odunze, but it's very, Ben, that's like a coin flip to me. Man, the standard ones, guys. Change your league. RJ Harvey easily in standard. Samson's not even going to be the goal line back. So you just like Samson has a higher floor. He'll get you like 7 points more. But RJ Harvey has the ability to just rush for a 60-yard touchdown, which you're kind of hunting in standard. Warren, Waddle, Odunze, or Hunter in flex full PPR. I think you do Hunter. Well, this is easy then, crack. You just got to change your family. Joking. 2 flex spot. Tight end premium. Mayer. So Michael Mayer. Sampson. Odunze. Jamo. Fannin. Strange. Okay. Fannin. Lock. I kind of like the matchup for Strange this week. Kind of think you go. So Fannin and Strange is fun. Jamo is fun any week. Odunze. This is a tough one. Definitely not Mares or Sampson. It's between Odunze, Jamo, Fannin, and Strange. Choose your favorite 2 of that group. Oh, Jacoby Myers. Okay. So you misspelled Sampson, so I thought you misspelled Mayer. That's my bad. Okay, Jacoby Myers against the Chargers in a game that, okay, That changes it. We'll get Sampson out of there. Yeah, I think it's tough, man. I think Myers is like very high floor, especially with Bowers. I think with the Bowers question, you lock Myers in there. And then you choose your favorite between Odunze, JMO, Fannin, and Strange. Like if you're projected to lose big, you roll out JMO. If you're a favorite, you roll out Fannin. What's the scoring setting, Javonte or Shakir? Play Debo, and Reed already, PPR. See, this is good. Give me info. Or like, hey, I'm facing Kraft, Have 2 flex spots in tight and left. Deciding between Tet, Puka, Fannin, or wait and risk a 0 on Bauer since the game is Monday. I mean, what are we talking about, man? Puka, like, are you talking about benching Puka Nacua? Is that the question? How many players do you need to play of this group? Because Puka is not a bench consideration, Luis. So I need a little bit more clarity, Luis. How many players do you have and how many do you need to bench? It seems like the question might be to play Fannin or Bowers. And then I don't understand the Tet and Puka part. Who do you bench Bowers for? Oh, those are your players left. If you have Fannin, that's like right on the cusp. Obviously, the answer is no if he's healthy. Luis, I think you got to watch Fox and you got to wait to see what Glazer is saying. Same thing I'm doing, right? For my other team here, I'm waiting to see what Jay Glazer says regarding Bowers. And then I will either swap to Shaheed or keep him in. Who do I like best in full PPR? I think Pickens this week. Pearsall and Hunter for me. Swift is just kind of brutal, man. He's like fine in best ball, but you're just going to be so angry if you see like a hole for Swift to go house it and he like bounces it outside. Jameson, Judy, Henderson, bench 1. I think Henderson. Okay, PPR, it's pretty close between Shakir and Javonte, but I think you play Javonte with the knowledge that this game could get out of hand and he could just salt the whole second half away, Like this could be a game where the Cowboys get up 21 in the first quarter and it's just Javonte and Miles Sanders and or Jaden Blue the rest of the game. Shakir, he's like a safe 10 points, Probably Garrett, but I don't really like it. The Bills run zone, so they like to keep guys in front of them, but yeah, probably Garrett. I'm Sharps over Ramondre. Kenneth Walker or J.K. Dobbins in half point. If you have a lead, I think you just play Dobbins. Like there was rumblings that the Seahawks run more outside zone, which is kind of Ken Walker's wheelhouse. But they could also just be down big in this game. I mean, after last week, it's just like you can't claim Ken Walker is safe, Neither is Dobbins, to be clear. Start 2 and flex 1. London, I like the football emojis. Okay, London is a start. Marvin, Ricky, Jameson. Okay, this is easy. London and Marvin, period. Ricky Pearsall is close. Oh, so who to sit out of this group? You said Jameson Williams in this group. We got to, I think the Lions are going to be fine after seeing how good the Packers defense was on Thursday night, but let's see it first, I'd play. It's pretty close. The Fannin or Ferg. I think Ferg has more touchdown upside, but Fannin has more like 10-point games in his range of outcomes. So it depends whether you need to hunt for ceiling or not. I think I'd play Henderson over Sampson if you need ceiling. I'd play Keenan Allen and Smith personally. But you're not going to feel good, man, if Ibuka has a good week. So you could also, I mean, this is all close, Bruce, to be clear. Jonnu or Ferg? Very small lean towards Jonnu, but super close. Like these questions, folks, is like it's asking me to pick a coin flip, which I'll give you my intuition, but just when it is a coin flip, I'm going to tell you. Some of these questions are not close. Some of these questions are like, okay, neither of us can decide. Again, I think Ferg has more touchdown upside. I think against the Giants run cover 1, and that's traditionally not been a great matchup for Ferg, but also Ferg could have had like 2 60-yard touchdowns in that game or whatever. He got like blasted by the safety twice. Tough call in a deep dynasty league. Austin, Higgins, or Kincaid, full PPR. It's between Austin or Kincaid. I'm Coleman over Dobbins in PPR. No, that one was not a coin flip for me. If it's PPR, I'm playing Henderson over Pollard. I mean, Pollard's going to get 17 rushing attempts, but what does that do for us if he's getting no targets? Brian Thomas Jr., easily. Pickens, JSN, Igbuka, Adams, Devontae Adams. Okay, so Brian Thomas Jr. and Devontae Adams and JSN. Boom. You got a lot of good options, but yeah, you bench Pickens, you bench Igbuka, you bench Jameson. Igbuka or Hunter, full PPR flex. I'd play Hunter. Danny Dimes or Penix. I'd play Dimes. I'd play Penix at a lot of spots, but against the Vikings defense, he's not the most mobile guy. Probably not. Might be banged up weapons. And Jameson or Pickens. I think I'm Dimes and Pickens. There's so many guys on the Lions that they're all a little bit harder and managed. Survivor pool. I like Rams and Cards in that order. Tune in earlier in the week, though, PD. We do Survivor strategy like Tuesday or Wednesday. Okay, you're answering someone else. Pick 2. Igbuka, Tet, Ricky, and Keon. Think I'm Tet and Ricky for safety. Like they're going to have more 10-point games in the range of outcomes. Igmika and Keon are more ceiling hunting if you're trailing. You got to watch the Fox broadcast like 10 minutes before the game's lock and see what they say about Bowers. I don't have enough info on Bowers, but if Jay Glazer gives a negative report on Bowers. Play Fannin or Juwan Johnson. Otherwise, play Bowers and pray. Think I'm Pearsall here. Man, this is the most down bad question I've ever seen for Ken Walker. People are asking Ken Walker or Trey Benson. I'm not laughing at you, Michael. I'm just laughing at how dire it got after exactly 1 week for Ken Walker. I'd play Pearsall and Ken Walker. Oh man, all the guys hyping Ken Walker up to the 3-4 turn. If they could flash forward 1 week and see this question, I'm screenshotting this. I said, if you showed this to the Ken Walker Bulls 2 weeks ago, it would break their brains. No, it's not. It's not close to me, man. You play Ken Walker there, and you live with the result. Hampton, Henderson, or Hunter, PPR pick 1. I'd play Hampton. Pick 1, PPR flex. Pearsall, Hunter, Swift. I think I'm Pearsall there. I'm Ken Walker over Pacheco. What kind of value would you put Herbert in a super flex plus 2 normal flex dynasty full PPR? Huge value. I don't play dynasty, but like extremely valuable, Josh. This is a stud in a good spot that has good weapons now, or much better weapons than before, at least. Looks like he's going to run too. So I don't really know what does Josh Allen go for in dynasty? Because he's not that, but he's not far off, you know. Yeah, Ken Walker can still work out, obviously. It's just crazy that we're a week into the season and people are asking Ken Walker or Benson. Sharbs or Harvey? Sharbs for safety, Henny. Harvey for ceiling. Trey Benson or Njoku? I'd be Njoku. Simon's asking about the Quay Walker tackles guy. You in here? I'm Henderson over Pollard. Pollard's going to get a lot more rushing attempts and play a lot more snaps if that matters to you. But doesn't feel like a great start against a very good Rams team. Ingram, Njoku, or Kincaid? Probably Njoku, Kevin. Javonte Williams easily over Jordan Mason. All right, Brian, what's your defensive tackles guy? This has you dead, man. To compare this to something, this is like asking Jamar Chase or Darius Slayton, basically. Preseason wise. I'm not after week 1, obviously things have changed, but you in the Herald or Njoku camp? I'm in the both camp. I think Njoku could get traded, but maybe Njoku looked a little rough that week. Tyreek, Zay, T, JSN. 15-man friends tourney. Kind of like Tyreek this week, but I like Tyreek and Zay. Thanks for the super chat, Eli. Half point PPR, half point per yard. Ken Walker or Travis Hunter? I'd play Travis Hunter. Like, Travis Hunter is in the Chris Godwin role for Liam Cohen. So he's going to get slot work and get peppered with targets. And we also know he can win deep. So he's eventually going to have a huge game. And Ken Walker, I think you need to wait to see that things have changed for him. Yeah, with a good lead, I think you definitely start Travis Hunter. People are weighing in on the Egg McMuffin question. I'm projected to win this one by 0.7. Herbert, Geno, Cam Ward versus Mahomes, Fields, Stroud, and Geno. So a 4-quarterback guy. Bijan, Hampton, Ken Walker, and Kamara. Olave, Reed, Kupp, Godwin, McMillan. Obviously, this was drafted early by me before the Godwin news. McMillan, also an early team. QJ with Herbert. Darius Slayton, Yoshi Voss, Trey Tucker, Bowers, and Njoku versus Kelsey Loveland Otten, Slayton, Pearsall, Zay, Mike, JSN, Brian Thomas, Amon-Ra. His running back room, though, is James Conner, Jaden Blue, Roshan Johnson, and Jalen Wright. Like, his wide receiver room is awesome, but, like, what is this running back room? He has one running back this week. So, should be hard for me to lose. Although, if these guys all go off, I guess I lose. I got a couple teams in the FanDuel, Millie, like the 250. Play 1-5-5-5 team on DK2. Stay live for about 10 more minutes, folks. Be sure to like, subscribe, join the Discord. Link is below. I'm Dak over Trevor. Would like that team I showed a lot better if it didn't have, like, Godwin and McMillan. This one is projected to barely win by me. There's a lot of quarterbacks to like this week. I think Josh Allen is awesome. Lamar. I like Dak. Joe Burrow. You could also do like the Fields or Kyler stuff. I got the Bills today pretty easily. DFS single entry. Benson plus McBride versus T-Mac plus. I don't think. I mean, playing Trey Benson is a little cute to me. I know he played some snaps, but I still think it's very cute. Honestly, PS, I don't love. If I had to do one of these, I would do T-Mac and like Sampson or Harvey. I don't really love any of the options, though. I feel like you're sacrificing quite a bit of projection. Like, it's week 2, so pricing is still soft, you know? So you're probably like jamming some studs, and you might just need to let one stud go. But if I had to choose a group here, I would do T-Mac and Sampson. Baker, Herbert, Goff versus Lamar, Herbert, Stafford. Jacobs, Henderson, Connor, Jones, Tucker versus Henderson, Montgomery, Pollard, Tank, JSN. So my running back room is obviously better. He has a better quarterback room with Lamar. Lamb, tied. Ladd versus London, close. Ibuka versus Adams, edge to him. Keon versus Shakir. Close, but edge to me. Palmer versus QJ. Close. Douglas versus Pat Bryant. Edge to me right now. Trey Harris versus Hopkins. They're both zeros. I know Hopkins got that awesome touchdown, but he barely played. Or barely got targeted. Ertz, nice little lead here. And Jacobs. So I got some points cashed here. Are we just hoping for a half advance rate in week 2 Eliminator? I mean, obviously you're hoping for more, but yeah, 50% is expectation, Colin. Honestly, Travis, I put a lineup in on like Monday just to like let it sit there, and I've swapped it around, and I might swap it around again. So I'm tinkering. I don't usually do that. But I want to think through like what are spots that Sims are not going to pick up on in week 2? What are spots that people are going to jam for safety reasons? So like high snap count guys, but could fail. How could games fail? Things like this. I love me some Miami and Indy today. You? 2 games I'm not too confident on, baby. But yeah, I could see Tyreek having a good game. This team, I'm barely projected to win. Oh, geez. Josh and Lamar is my team here, which they have the same bye. So this was drafted before the schedule. Doesn't mean the team is auto dead, but we're going to need to beat someone without a quarterback week 7 if we make it. Do we have the firepower to do that? Almost certainly not, as I look at the team. The running back room is not great. The wide receiver room is pretty good, but yeah, no, the team is dead. Neighbors. I mean, it's just too cute to go Pickens. Like, I don't know. Doesn't take a genius for that one. We're projected to lose against Davis right now. Think you go Juwan or Fannin, Steve, but yeah, you're opening yourself up the downside. Pick 2, Aaron Jones, Walker, Keon, Hunter, Tyler Warren. Think it's between Keon, Hunter, and Tyler Warren for me, Iron. Both Jones and Walker have pretty low floors. So Davis has Terry. We have Josh and Gino. I have Joe Mixon, which is bad. So my running backs are Jones, Warren, and Charbonnet. He has a much better running back room than me. But he has 2 effective, like he has Terry who didn't have a good game, and Reed. I have both the Bengals guys. So yeah, it's going to come down to like Chase and Higgins versus Henry, Irving, Hall. And what does Josh do? That's why the projections for this stuff doesn't matter, because it's like, well, if your player scores 50, see ya. We're projected to beat the Wizard. Bowers to be determined here. Well, you know, Iron, feel free to go with consensus ranks if you would like to. If I'm playing one between Walker and Jones, I'd play Jones this week. I do think even though the Bills defense does not look great and Ed Oliver's hurt, I kind of think you do want to get the Bills defense because they're playable for so long. And even if they get in shootouts, like that's how interceptions and stuff happen. Because, okay, they're playable today. They're playable against the Dolphins. They're playable against the Saints. They're playable against the Pats, the Falcons. They're playable, and then they get the Panthers. So you can literally just leave them in there for 6 weeks. Whereas the Cardinals, You play them today. Okay. Now you play them against Mac Jones. So that's 2. I guess you can do the Seahawks. That's 3. Titans is 4. Colts is, probably because it's Daniel Jones, but maybe not if that team still looks good. And then Packers is a definite no. But it's close, man. It's close. Like the Bills defense might be brutally bad. I think Pearsall's fine, Chad, but I don't think I'm going to go there. I don't think Jennings changes much for Pearsall. I absolutely don't care about who I beat in the Elim. It's just whoever lines up against me, who hames. You could say this about I don't even remember the guy's name. The wide receiver, like there's some rookie they drafted. He probably had some reps with Mac Jones. Cowboys or Seattle? Think I'd go Cowboys and just try to pick up Seattle next week. I'd play Booty over Eliminator pretty easily. Yeah, Watson. I would play Pickens over Mooney, Downs, or Booty pretty easily. About to end this, folks. So get in your last questions. Start 2 of Keenan, Pearsall, and JMO, half point. Think I go Pearsall and Keenan, but just understand JMO has a huge ceiling. I would play May over T-Law. Because Miami's defense is like the worst in the NFL. Think I go Trevor there, but it's close. If you need ceiling, Ken Walker. If you're cool with a realistic floor, Dobbins. The Vikings D just looks very good, Ezra, so you might want to hold them. Shakir has a better floor. Palmer has a nice ceiling against a man coverage team in the Jets. He's a good man coverage beater. Well, I'm a Bills fan, so I'll watch the Bills game and I'll have Red Zone on my laptop. I'd play Pickens over Harvey. JMO, Hunter, or Keon? I'd go Hunter and then flip a coin on JMO and Keon. Both have big ceilings, low floors. I'd play Marvin over Hunter, Noah. Pick 2. Dobbins. And then Samson has a higher floor. Walker has a higher ceiling. If you don't have haters, man, you're not doing it right. Means they're not jealous, right? All right, folks. That's about an hour. Again, I'll be here most Sundays. Will not be here next Sunday. Leaving for a wedding Thursday night. So no streams Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday next week. We'll be live recapping the NFL Monday through Wednesday. Good luck to everyone, myself included. Let's get it.